Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand? Join with me our pledge to our flag and our country. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
and with it any regrets, mistakes, or failures. Help us use each new day to make right any error in our actions. Lord, I pray you would move by your Spirit boldly in our lives. We know that our selfishness can grieve you. I pray you help us crave your presence more than we crave our selfishness. Help us grow in the fruit of love for you and for every person you created that is around us. We pray for guidance. Let your will and promises always be a meditation of our heart. Thank you that each day is a new opportunity to do the right thing, to make right a wrong we have done, to give, love, and live. Amen.
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 Good job.
Thank you, Pastor. As always, excellent message. Call to order our 66th City, Public Works Authority meeting of May 2nd. The second item on the agenda is public comments or announcements. I don't think we have any. The third item is the consent agenda, which is the approval of the minutes of the April 4th, 2023 Public Works Authority meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Submit your votes, please.
Public's right.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those present. Then to approve the consent agenda and the minutes of April 4th. With that being the last item on our Public Works, I adjourn that meeting and call to order our City Council meeting again. City Council 66th City Council. The consent agenda item A, which is the approval of the minutes of the April 4th City Council meeting. Entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Submit your votes.
Public's right.
See the votes. Unanimous approval then to approve the consent agenda and the approval of the minutes of the April 4th City Council meeting. With that, our City Council 66th version is adjourned, and we will, Judge, will now entertain, we have 4 re-elected and elected officials. Would they all come forward, please?
I state your name.
I, Brian Buckley,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and will discharge the duties of my office
and will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
that I have not paid or contributed,
that I have not paid or contributed,
either directly or indirectly,
either directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or other valuable thing
to procure my nomination or election
to procure my nomination or election
or appointment,
or appointment,
except for necessary and proper expenses
except for necessary and proper expenses
expressly authorized by law.
expressly authorized by law,
That I have not knowingly violated
that I have not knowingly violated
any election law of the state
any election law of the state
or procured it to be done by others in my behalf.
or procured it to be done by others on my behalf,
That I will not knowingly receive,
that I will not knowingly receive,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or other valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance
for the performance or non-performance
of any act or duty
of any act or duty
pertaining to my office
pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law.
other than the compensation allowed by law.
And I further swear or affirm
And I further swear or affirm
that I will not receive, use, or travel upon
that I will not to see, use, or travel upon
any free pass
any free pass
or on free transportation
or on free transportation
during my term of office.
during my term of office.
Congratulations.
Let's do this. Good job, Brian.
Okay, now I call to order our City Council 67th edition. And item number 2 is public comments, community announcements, or recognitions. I do have a proclamation. Is there anything else? Okay. We have a proclamation to read, Rebecca. Rebecca, representing the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health Services. Is that correct? This is the proclamation. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being. And whereas each week approximately 300 Oklahomans are admitted for urgent care or crisis mental health services. And whereas 4.1% of the adults in Oklahoma had serious thoughts of suicide in the last year. And 1 in 10 students reported attempting suicide in the last 12 months. And whereas early identification and treatment can make a profound difference in the successful management of mental illness and recovery. And whereas substance use disorder is not a moral issue, but rather a chronic, treatable disease that individuals can recover from and go on to live healthy lives. And whereas the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health, and whereas the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services believes that Oklahomans deserve to have mental health and addiction services within reach without fear of judgment or shame through the evidence-based crisis response continuum, which meets people where they are and where they need it most. And whereas the 988, remember that number, 988 Mental Health Lifeline supports Oklahomans experiencing a mental health crisis through trained mental health professionals, mobile crisis teams, urgent care and crisis centers, and follow-up appointments. And whereas dialing or texting the 988 Mental Health Lifeline is free, confidential, and accessible to all Oklahomans. And whereas civic activities and conversations help educate the public about mental health and help families affected by mental health to heal, recover, and thrive. Now therefore, I, Stephen J. Gentling, Mayor of the City of Guthrie, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2023 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Guthrie, Oklahoma, to increase public understanding of the importance of mental health and to promote identification and treatment of mental health illnesses. And what is that? And what is that number? 988. Okay, item number 3 is the consent agenda. We have 3 things on the consent agenda. A is the approval of the payment of invoices to Integrated HVAC for the replacement project of the following buildings: Highland Hall, Cemetery Office, Community Center, and the Water Treatment Plant, in the amount of $122,595. B is approval of change order number 1 to Integrated HVAC for the replacement project, decreasing the contract amount by $9,799. And C is the approval of accepting a grant for the amount of $20,467 from Firehouse Public Safety Foundation to purchase a 2023 Sea-Doo personal watercraft for the Guthrie Police Department. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion of those three
What,
items?
how much does the Sea-Doo cost?
20,000.
It's a big CD.
20,000.
Apparently that's the full price,
Okay.
okay?
This is for Liberty Lake, I guess, or whatever
Both,
lake. Both
any lakes that they need to be called on. Chief,
Yes.
right?
This
Yeah,
item,
We have the lake patrol officers out there in the summertime, and we typically do not have any watercraft at all. And after we had some unfortunate things happen on one of our lakes, we've been applying for this grant for several years, and they decided to give it to us.
Cool. That's great.
Fabulous.
Very great.
We'll get a trip, right? If we wanna come out, we can.
If you want, if there's any water left.
That's the other thing, yeah.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes, please.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from everybody, our newest members also. Congratulations. I just want to make note, this is our first vote for some of the members in front of you, so it's a monumental thing.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yes, very good. Unanimous approval then of the consent agenda. Item number 4, discussion possible action concerning official ballot voting for 3 trustees to serve on the Board of Trustees, the Oklahoma Municipal Assurance Group, for a 3-year term commencing July 1st. Eddie, are you taking that, or?
I'm taking it.
Okay,
We'll see.
right.
This is the annual election of the OMAC Board of Trustees. Kim has informed me that the normal practice is we would nominate those who sent out letters of support. And at that time, we have received letters from Pam Polk, Matt Lyon, and Mr. Battles. That would be staff's recommendation for the board appointments. However, we would open it for council recommendations.
Okay. Any discussion?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second then to approve the 3 names as submitted by the staff. Any other discussion? Submit your vote, please.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval then to approve to the Oklahoma Municipal Assurance Group, the 3 names, Polk, Lynn, and Butler, was it?
Polk,
Battles.
Lyon, and Battles.
Battle.
To the Oklahoma Municipal Assurance Group. And I would like to also identify that in his first official capacity as city manager, making that recommendation to the city council, Eddie Faulkner. Eddie, welcome to the team. Item number 5, discussion possible action regarding the contract with YMCA of Greater Oklahoma City and Guthrie for the operation of the municipal swimming pool for the 2023 season. Tenny?
Must have plugged the leak.
Want to bet?
No leak's been plugged.
You have to fill the hole.
This is just a reoccurring agreement, annual agreement that we do every year with the YMCA. Decisions on filling the pool or opening the pool has not formally been made yet. We're just trying to get all steps in place that would need to be taken at this time. Nothing in the agreement has changed other than the operating fee has went from $5,000 to a $10,000 operating fee that the city pays the YMCA to operate the fee. All revenues generated from the operations goes to the YMCA. The pool operational would be operational by May 19th for the YMCA staff for their training. Open to the public May 27th, 2023 through August 13th, 2023, and this is subject to lake water levels. We did include that in bold letters. Rentals would remain open until August 27th of 2023. Staff would recommend approval of the agreement just so that we have this step in place in case we receive substantial rainfall.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions of Tenny or any other discussion? Submit your votes.
How about Strand?
See the votes. Unanimous approval then to approve the contract with the YMCA of Oklahoma City and Guthrie with the provisions of lake levels as identified. Item number 6, discussion and possible action to approve the purchase of a 2023 Ford Responder truck in the amount of $49,283. Chief?
So you might recall several months ago that we brought the grant that I got from the Iowa tribe. And they've agreed to purchase a truck for one of our advocates, and this is gonna be it. That'll enable us to put the Tahoe that she's driving currently onto patrol. This is state bid price. They pay 100%, or we pay 100%, and they're gonna reimburse us 100%. And that's through John Vance.
Ford or Chevy?
Ford.
Ford, okay.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? I'd just like to again identify, Chief, I think we have one of the initial victim advocate programs
Yes.
here. Been greatly, there was a grant that you all initiated, and obviously support of the Iowa tribe is hugely
Absolutely.
appreciated. Hugely appreciated. Submit your votes. See the votes.
Hey, I didn't do that.
Unanimous?
Thank you all very much.
You can't make up his mind.
I didn't do that.
Well,
Yeah,
he
8
was just,
votes.
he was just recently sworn in.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything.
He just wanted to hit the red button.
Unanimous approval then to purchase that 2023, or to accept the grant for the purchase of the 2023 Ford Responder in the amount of $49,283. Item number 7, discussion and possible action to adopt ordinance number 3389 to request to amend the employment retirement system, defining contribution plans for the city manager. Who's taking the lead on that?
I'll take this item.
Leroy? Okay. Leroy.
Way to go, rookie.
You know it was
He
coming.
just got sworn in.
Yeah, he just got it.
My apologies, Eddie.
Way to go, Leroy.
I hope that's the last time.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, Mayor and Council, this will amend the existing retirement plan. The only difference, Leroy did not contribute as the employee portion to his retirement. This will allow me to make my own contributions to the plan. That's all this is. So,
Okay.
staff would recommend approval.
And now we're doing an emergency because it needs to hit the next payroll? Is that the deal there?
So it will be effective my first payroll, which would allow the deduction to start immediately.
So moved.
Second.
I know, right? Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
How about Strand?
See the votes. Unanimous approval then to adopt ordinance number 3389 for the employee retirement system contribution from the city manager. And now we'll take it as a separate vote to make that an emergency declaration. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Motion and a second here. Okay, any other discussion? Submit your votes.
How about Strand?
See the votes. Unanimous then to make that ordinance, adopting of that ordinance, an emergency declaration.
Thank you.
Item number 8, discussion and possible action on declaring an emergency clause contained within the ordinance 3389.
Isn't that what we just did?
I think that's
No.
what we just did.
Yeah,
Uh,
so
okay.
Or 9?
Okay.
there was an error. Item 7 should not have included declaring an emergency.
Okay.
So the fact that we voted separately, we're good.
Covered.
Thank you.
We are a step ahead. Okay, item number 9, discussion and possible action to adopt ordinance number 3390, a request to rezone 10,500 square feet property on Lincoln Avenue. Dan?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
have 1 minute.
Okay. As you indicated, this is a rezone over on East Lincoln. The applicant is looking to build a duplex or possibly a triplex, so they want to rezone it from R1 to R2. There were no public objections written, phone call, or even at the public hearing, and the Planning Commission recommended approval 3-0 to approve the rezone from R1 to R2.
Okay. Questions?
When's he gonna start it, do you know?
I honestly don't know. I think sooner than later in that, yeah, because that was the biggest thing is, yeah, it'll probably be fairly soon.
Be nice to have somebody doing something back in there to clean that up. That area is kind of rough.
Yeah, it'll be a nice addition to the area, and then, like you said, we can continue to get some of that area cleaned up and that.
Okay,
So moved.
we have a motion? Is there a second? A motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
How votes Rand?
See the votes. Unanimous approval then to adopt ordinance number 3390, a request to rezone the property identified from R1 to R2. Item number 10, discussion and possible action to adopt ordinance number 3391 to request a rezone from from C2 to R1. Dan?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, the owner of the property, you can actually have residential uses in the C2, but the property owner did not want to have any chance that there was going to be commercial on those properties. So they wanted to rezone it to R1 so it could for sure just be single-family dwellings built on there. I think they're looking to maybe split the lot into the bigger lot into a couple parcels. But again, there was no public objection written or in the public hearing, and the Planning Commission recommended approval 3-0 to rezone it from C2 to R1.
Where's that located?
It's right adjacent to the Lake Ridge Estates. I think it's Lake Ridge.
Right up the street
Yeah.
from Debbie's house.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It would be due west of the community
Okay,
church.
okay.
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
How votes Rand?
See the votes. Unanimous approval then to adopt ordinance number 3391, rezoning partial as identified from C2 to R1. Item number 11, city manager report. Eddie?
I will be brief. Not a whole lot. The transition has taken place. Leroy has officially retired. I want to send my thanks to the staff. They've been great in welcoming me on board. The council and Leroy, everybody has gone above and beyond to make sure that I had a smooth transition. So I recognize that and I appreciate that. Community has been accepting. I started on 89ers week, so as you can imagine, that was drinking out of a fire hose. But it was great. I got to meet a lot of folks, and so far I have enjoyed it, and I'm happy to be here. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you. We're excited to have you on the team and look forward to really great things. Item number 12, comments from City Council. Vice Mayor Case.
Weather's beautiful. Enjoy it while it lasts. We've gotten some rain here lately. That's really been a blessing, and things are looking a lot greener. So that's all I've got.
Be my one.
Yeah.
Councilman Taylor?
Thank you, Dan, for sort of keeping it under a couple of minutes. We appreciate that. Thank you, staff. Thank you. I really appreciate what you guys do. I know Tenny's having a tough time right now with all the water problems. So, guys, kind of watch what you're doing on your water. I don't want to have to do like what we've been talking about doing because I know we need some rain really bad. We're way low. Other than that, welcome, Eddie. Appreciate you coming. And 89ers was great too, Mayor.
That was good. Councilman Bothroyd.
Welcome, Eddie. Appreciate you being here. Jeff, I understand it's your birthday tomorrow, so we won't sing to you tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
A while back, I'm going to throw something out. I know it's not for this council, but I'm going to throw it out in my council comments anyway. Is that, you know, I'm a proponent of everybody being heard. Always have been. I know that we made some votes recently that prohibits that to a degree, unless you're on an agenda. So in a future council, in the next one or two down the road, I'm gonna be bringing it back up to council. So get with your councilman if that's what you wanna do. And that's why I wanted to bring it up. So, there you go. That's it.
Councilman Williams?
Well, Sunday, I attended the Touch the Truck event. Very impressed with that. Heard a lot of good things from a lot of people. Kids really loved it. It was just a good event, and I can imagine it took a lot to put it together, so hats off to police department, fire departments that were all involved, and all the volunteers that went with that.
Councilman Rob?
Just honored and privileged to be here. I want to thank everybody who voted for me to put me here, and I want to thank everyone who showed up tonight to support me. I feel like I'm graduating high school or something, and everyone came out. I appreciate it very much. So, Eddie, I've already enjoyed meeting you already. I'm glad you're here, man. I just appreciate it.
Thank you. Councilman Geary?
Welcome, Eddie. You've been here a while, so, and you've been coming, so, but welcome again. We're glad you're here, and Adam, I'm glad you're on the council.
Thank you.
One thing that I did want to ask about, and I just noticed several posts on rezoning and property development in the city limits, and so I wanted to know if we had ever approached, the city of Oklahoma City has several chodos that are operating within their boundaries. They have to be overseen by municipal government as part of the funding for those, and I wanted to know if we'd ever considered reaching out and trying to develop. It's a community housing development organization for moderate priced housing. The most prolific one in Oklahoma City is Positively Paseo, which builds about 20 houses a year, I think. So I just was interested if we ever pursued that or looked
That
at
would be a Dan.
Yeah, I mean, the quick answer is no, but it's definitely something that I think would be worthy. I keep beating the drum of needing to increase our housing and the affordability of that housing, so anything that can help would be great. So that would definitely be a good discussion.
Okay, maybe we can look forward to that for future reference. Certainly something
It's
like
funded by
maybe our strategic planning.
So they give you seed money
Coming on.
when you sell the house. Yeah.
Anything else, Grant?
Nope, that's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Again, Jeff mentioned the 89ers. Really appreciate. It's a community activity. It takes a village to make it happen, and I think we had it happening this year. It was a really good outcome as far as I could tell. A lot of some new events. We had. I think Commander, you might want to speak to the. I think we had more retail and more food vendors than we've ever had in the past. So I think that speaks highly for what we're doing. And I know that the finances are still being looked at. But again, thanks to the whole community for making it happen.
All right, thank you everyone that helps us. Thank you
Commander
to the
Charlie
city.
Brown.
Thank you to Justin for coordinating everything with the city for us. And we're still balancing things out. And we haven't gotten in some of our invoices for some of our items yet, but I think it was a big success. We had more vendors than ever, and we had, that in itself caused a few issues, which we're looking at for next year already. And we opened up the city parking lot at Harrison and First for vendors. And next year, we're already working to make it even bigger than it was this year.
Good.
Good deal.
Well, great success again. Thanks. Thanks to the whole community for making it such. That being the last item on our agenda, I adjourn our city council. Call to order our City Public Works Authority meeting of May 2nd. The second item on our agenda is consent agenda. Item number A, approval of application for permit to construct water supply facilities from Country Club Lake.
So moved.
Is anybody dealing with that? Kenny, are you dealing with that?
Yes.
Okay.
It's on the consent.
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm sorry, it's a consent agenda item. Sorry.
If you wanted discussion, you'd have to remove it from
Yeah.
Consent agenda. I'm gonna take A off the consent agenda so we can discuss. I'll make a motion for that.
Okay, all right, well then you're back on. Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome.
So the permit, a task order was signed for this project. ODOT is doing some improvements out off of State Highway 105 where we have some water lines that run adjacent to that highway, requiring the city to relocate our water lines in the area, which part of the steps is permitting through DEQ. The permitting process is simply just to show receipt of the permit that should be noted in minutes at our council meetings as permanent record.
Okay, I entertain a motion then to approve the consent agenda item A.
So moved.
I'm gonna ask a question.
Did you have a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, what's going on 105? What's the state?
The portion of it, we haven't had an actual progress meeting, pre-work meeting, or anything like that of such. It's my understanding they're doing some widening,
Going 4-lane.
putting 4-lane part of the way, putting shoulders on part of it, a center turn lane possibly on part of it, extends all the way out to into the county, I believe, out to about Henny Road, starting at Midwest, right there
That's
at
awesome.
33
That's
and
awesome.
Midwest.
Are they gonna put a stoplight up like they've been?
There is
talking about?
discussion of a signal light in that plan as well, but again, I haven't seen actual plans, so I don't know what all's.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second then to approve the consent agenda item A, which is the approval of the application for the permit for the water lines. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
All votes Ryan.
See the votes. Unanimous approval then to consent agenda item number A. Item number 3 is discussion and possible action to approve the solicitation of bids for the water line relocation. Now, Tenny.
Again, just another step in the process. The project will replace 1,400 linear feet of 2-inch PVC, 90 linear feet of 4-inch, which is a crossing underneath 105, and then 110 linear feet of 6-inch, another crossing that goes underneath Highway 105. Staff's asking for approval to simply go out and solicit for bid.
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your bid or your votes.
He's
All
new.
votes Ryan.
Get started.
It's been a tough night.
It has been a rough crowd. Okay, unanimous approval then to approve the solicitation bids, item number 3. Item number 4, discussion and possible action to solicit bids on lift station, number 4, rehabilitation.
Task order 160 was signed April 4th for this project. This project will upgrade our sewer lift station number 4. It'll replace 2 10-horse pumps with 2 25-horsepower chopper pumps with slide rails, control panels, and auto dialer, including the installation and material. This will also include all electrical improvements, including upgrading the generator and the automatic transfer switch. These upgrades are needed due to our current demands on this lift station and future growth in the current system.
Where's it located at?
This one's behind the nursing home right there on the west side. The new school improvements and all of that will feed into this lift station.
Okay,
So moved.
motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
All votes Ryan.
See the votes, unanimous approval then to approve the solicitation of bids for lift station number 4. Item number 5, consider convening into executive session for purposes of discussing the employment of a special project officer.
So moved.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Submit your votes.
All votes Ryan.
See the votes, unanimous approval then to move into executive session. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with you in a while.
Second. Been moved
I don't have a
and
Mrs. Bothroyd anymore. Why do I got a Mr. and Mrs.?
Nobody doesn't know anymore.
Apparently not.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second, have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval then to come out of executive session. Number 8, consider action regarding salaried public employee. No action taken at this time. That being the last item on our agenda, ladies and gentlemen, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Kim, do you want these?